Dr. Jason Miller here with a quick warm-up routine for you. Don't just start blasting, especially if you're in weightlifting, but any barbell activity, make sure you spend some time establishing patterns. Goes without saying, do a couple warm-up sets. Do one unloaded, even weightlifters we have in our club. I like them to do at least one set if they're going to do a back squat, and they've been doing cleans and snatches perhaps in the workout, and it's like, well, we have the squat pattern down. You don't have the back squat pattern down yet. So do a bar set, if it's just 5 to 7 reps, just to get that idea of sitting down with the bar in a different position and so on. Make sure you're doing adequate warm-up. Now, when you first get to the gym, a lot of people like foam roll and do all that kind of stuff. I think that's fantastic. I'm more of a fan of moving as you would actually move either in weightlifting or as you would move in daily activities. And so I have a little warm routine. You can give it a shot, modify it as you go. After I teach people this, sometimes I change some of the exercises a little bit to attack some of their specific issues in terms of mobility. But if you continue this warm up over and over again, I think you'll find that your mobility will improve if you do these exercises correctly. If you just go through the motions, of course, it's not going to make any difference. But a focus on doing these exercises correctly over time will also improve your mobility. Again, all these things will look like weightlifting movements, and they certainly are, but I think there's a tremendous transfer to anything you're doing in the gym, especially a lower body day, and doing this warm-up. So I would advise using a stick or something very light that you can manipulate easily. Don't grab a heavy barbell and try to do this, or you'll be struggling to manage the barbell's weight rather than concentrating on doing the patterns correctly. And I mentioned before, don't just go through the motions, okay? Concentrate on doing the exercises perfectly, okay, or as perfectly as your mobility allows. The first round that you do these usually is a little bit messier than the third one. That's the goal. By the third round of this, you're warmed up. All right, 4 exercises, real simple, circuit type pattern. So you do one exercise and the next one, the next one, the next one, start over again. It's with the stick the whole time. You can keep a good rhythm. You don't need to stop and talk to a couple people in the gym or think about your day. Just keep a good tempo going between these, and there's no rest periods in between circuits. First one, these are all patterns you've seen before. Overhead press, overhead squat pattern, don't worry about hook grip or any of that stuff. Okay? Put the stick right in front of your hip, flip it over the top, feet shoulder width, toes slightly out, and squat. All right? Now the goal is, I always tell people when they first start, is your number one goal is to keep the elbows locked. So if you are doing this stuff, okay, at least keep the elbows locked while you do it. All right? The next goal would obviously be then to keep the stick within the base of your foot. Okay? Good overhead position, sit straight back in the back of the foot, and back up. I have shoulder mobility issues myself, being an old man who likes to do powerlifting, and so the overhead squat for me is a good shoulder, more of a shoulder mobility exercise than anything else. Some of you find you roll forward, you got bad ankle mobility, whatever it is, that first set may look something like this, right? Get those knees open, sit back, and hopefully by the third round you're at least better than when you first started. And it's going to take many iterations of this, in other words, many days of doing this warm-up for you to see a drastic improvement in mobility, but it will come. All right, so the first one, overhead squat pattern, 8 to 10 reps, usually do 8, usually do 3 rounds of this. If somebody's really tight, you could do it for 4 rounds. So that's the first exercise, 8 overhead squats. The next one, overhead press. Bring your hands in, put the stick real close to your neck. So just like the bar would be on the shoulder in a jerk. Now obviously the stick is not going to allow your elbows to come up, okay? The idea here though is just keep your face back, and so you get a good stretch on your chest as you press. So the stick moves straight up and down. The head's going to move around the bar, not the other way around, okay? We don't want the head here and the stick's going around. Most people go to the gym, their back hurts from doing overhead pressing is because they do things like this. All right, so head back, press, head forward. And now, when you actually do a jerk, okay, you don't want to teach somebody to do this, but when you're actually warming up, it's not a bad idea to exaggerate that head through movement just a little bit. Okay, so head back, stick goes straight up, head through, and really stretch that chest out, stretch those shoulders out, and back in. Again, that's with a more of a jerk grip. Those of you not into weightlifting, it's just a narrower grip than our overhead squat was. Next one's back squat, put it right on your back. Now you can focus on your lower body. ensuring that you're sitting back on the back of your foot. I hesitate to use the word heel. Usually heels end up doing this stuff, okay? Straight down on the back of your foot, get nice and deep. Make sure your knees are tracking outside your big toes, all right? No knee dumping. Okay, watch one foot isn't doing its own thing, okay? Feet just slightly out. They should be the same in terms of their external rotation. And sit right into it. All right, again, if you're tight the first couple, obviously, hopefully by the third round, you're feeling a lot looser. As you feel more comfortable with these and you know you're setting them up properly, use a mirror, use a buddy, whatever it is, to make sure your patterns are good, but start moving through with some speed. Okay, so by the third one especially, I'm just going to keep a good rhythm the whole time to get those reps done. All right, that also, again, increase core temperature, blood flow, increase synovial fluid temperature, the oil of your joints, and also neurologically get you going. The last one is the RDL, Romanian deadlift. Great hamstring warm up. Feet narrower here, they could be straight, but probably just slightly toed out, like with our squatting. Soft knee, okay? So here's my lock knee, there's a soft knee. The trick is with the RDL is to just slide the hips back while you leave your knees alone, okay? Unlike weightlifting, keep your head neutral as you do this. So in other words, let your eyes travel with the rest of your spine, so you don't need to be looking up here like you might do with weightlifting. Okay, push the hips back. My weight is firmly in the back of my foot. The stick is on my thighs. I put the stick right below my kneecaps. Don't go any further in this. Even if you're super flexible, if you go any further, you'll find that you get some of these T-spine issues and you start to flex in the spine. We don't want that. We should keep the back nice and tight. Put the stick right below the kneecaps, all the way up. When you finish all the way up, go ahead and extend your knees. Now, when you're doing an RDL, especially in women who have hypermobile spines more often than men, is you get this huge back arc, okay? Be really cognizant of that. We don't want that. It's not back arc at the expense, or trying to protect us from going in this direction. We arc at all costs. What you want to do is arc real big to start, then squeeze your abs as hard as you can. Now I'm neutral. So keep those abs on, stretch, push the hips back, okay? Stretch the hammies and back up. Most people do this wrong. When they go down, they start to squish instead of slide their hips backwards. All right? Again, same thing. Once you get comfortable with it, get some pace in it. Okay? Start to move with some pace. And I go right back to the top then, back to the overhead squat. Okay? 8 of those, back overhead press. Emphasizing the head through, exaggerating a little bit. 8 of those. Back squat. RDL again. Round and round you go. You get a pretty good sweat going. If some of you want to use something heavier like a barbell, that's fine. But for most, even the really strong individuals, if you start with a stick, that's a good thing. This little circuit is a good warm-up circuit to start your workout with. Okay? It will take you, I don't know, if it takes you 5 minutes, you're probably going too slow. It won't take you that long. And you can do more specific things that, it's exercise related, take a couple warm sets if you're benching, whatever it is. But at least you've got your body moving, okay? Multi-joint, okay, compound exercises, easy loading so you can concentrate on the patterns. And if you are shoulder stiff and you're doing this, okay, don't just go through the patterns, think that was a great warm-up, okay? Work on getting the shoulders back, okay? The first time you do this, you might be here, okay? 2 or 3 weeks later, you might be there. 2 or 3 months later, you might be here. All right? So keep working on developing this pattern. You can see I got mobility issues. I need more of this, more T-spine for me. It will take some time to break it up. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. This is certainly not an exhaustive list of exercises, or this is just my way of doing it. Doesn't mean it's the only way, but it's worked pretty well for individuals that have used it in the past. Okay, just a little basic warm-up to get you started. On to your workout.